Gather around, everyone, because I'm about to read a story about a special gift. It's intended for the young at heart and the young. So gather up your family, cuddle up, maybe get something warm to drink. It's cold here in the Northwest in my garden out there, but it's warm in here. I have on my toasty socks, and I think if you're ready, I'm ready. This story is from an old Precious Moments book written in 1989. It's through the year stories. There were many books by Precious Moments, but this one has a special one for the Christmas season. Let's begin. A Christmas Eve's Gift. The moon was bright on Christmas Eve as Jeremy walked in the snow. He smiled up and the moon smiled down. He wished he could talk with the man in the moon and share some Christmas secrets. I wonder what gifts I'll get tonight, Jeremy whispered to himself. He thought of the list he had given to Dad and the copy he had given to Mom. His list was as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wanted everything on it. There were gadgets and trinkets and a cuddly bear, and things to make and things to break. There were candy canes and wind-up trains, and things and things and things. His list was as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wanted everything on it. Each step he took made him think of a thing, and each thing was bigger than the thing before. There were things enough to crowd his room and things enough to squeeze out the door. Where, oh where, would he put all these things? His list was as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wanted everything on it. Jeremy thought the moon frowned as he thought of those things, though the frown of the moon made him frown a bit too. He couldn't stop thinking of his list of things. He couldn't stop thinking of things he could make and things he could run and things he could hold. Things and things and things. His list was as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wanted everything on it. Each step Jeremy took said crunch in the snow. He really wasn't sure which way he would go, but he wanted to walk some more and to think of each thing he had put on his list. He was sure he would get every one, even more. And the more he thought, the more he wished he had asked for more things on his Christmas list. But his list was already as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wanted everything on it. Then Jeremy stopped by a lamp on the street, a lamp wrapped with holly and snow. He stood and looked in the window nearby. There he saw an old lady, a lady alone in the soft yellow light, a lady with no list and no one to love on Christmas Eve. A tear came to Jeremy's eye that night. The lady alone had no Christmas tree, no gifts in the corner, wrapped in bright colored paper, no wreaths, no cones, no candy canes, no children to sing and clap their hands, no laughter or feasting or fun. What gift would she want? And who would give it? Then Jeremy thought of the gifts on his list, that list as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he wasn't so sure he wanted each one. Then Jeremy had a wonderful thought. He ran home through the snow and up to his room. In a wink and a twinkle, he was back once again. He was back at the lamp with the holly leaves. He was back at the window with soft yellow light. He was back near the lady with no gifts in sight. He stood there with a book in his hands on that night. Jeremy lifted his book with a smile, and he sang a sweet song of the Christ child's birth. His song was a gift to the lady alone. He smiled as he sang, and she smiled too. Then he knew that his gift was the best he could give. In the snow that night, by the soft yellow light, Jeremy forgot the list he had made. He forgot the list of things and things. He was giving, not getting. He was singing, not taking. He was bringing a gift of himself and his song. And that was the best gift on that Christmas Eve night. There by the lamp, as the snowflakes fell, by the lamp with the holly leaves wrapped all around, Jeremy sang his songs of love. He sang many songs of a Savior's birth and the joy he could bring to a lady alone. Jeremy had a long list of songs to sing. His list was as long as a kangaroo's tail, and he sang for her every one. I look forward to reading you more stories and even some of the ones that I've written. And we'll probably do that from the garden whenever the weather is nice, because that's where you'll usually find me. Until then, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for joining me today.